battle.
Welcome, everybody. It's the TC Off the Clock podcast. I am your host, Mateo, and I'm back with Richard. Richard was on our last podcast, and he had some really good insight about TikTok. I told you he was just, once you guys got to hear him talk, you're going to quickly learn he's just an advocate for TikTok, and I was not lying.
I mean, I'm on it, I'm on it. I like it. I watch it. I get good info from that thing.
Yeah. No, you have given me some pretty good ones. You'll have me watch them, and they are packed with knowledge. I didn't expect it. I really thought it was all about the dancing and stuff, and even if there was some teachings or whatever mixed into those, I didn't think it'd be anything I would use personally, but you got me because it's useful.
Yeah. We all got proved wrong with TikTok. Everybody. So bad. I was in that same boat. We were all in that same boat. And if you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok. That's all I got to say. I don't know.
Are you getting paid for this? How many times do you plug TikTok in every single meeting, man?
I wish I was able to get paid with TikTok. I have 2 followers and probably about 3 views.
Okay.
On TikTok. So
we got some work to do.
We got some work to do. We got some work to do. That's for sure.
But that's actually kind of goes hand in hand with what I wanted to talk about today, because obviously we do get some inquiries, I guess you'd call them. People do ask questions, and they're all local business owners or people wanting to get into business for themselves now that they're dealing with this whole COVID thing and whatnot. So it's been really nice to be able to hear from the community like we have been. And one of the things that became a question was about influencer marketing, and if that should be part of their marketing plan. So I figured you'd be a perfect person to talk to about that again, because you're so in tune with TikTok. You've probably seen what a lot of us have seen, and that's just these, we'll call them micro influencers. Those are the influencers that are not as big as the household names that you might be aware of, but you happen to see these people, and they might have anywhere between, I don't know, 1,000 to 10,000 followers themselves, and they do these little skits, and all of a sudden they're popping up everywhere. And I do think that that's actually a good strategy if you have a little bit of money to give out to these guys. I don't think they would do it for free, but again, man, it's just the power that comes with that when you do produce something that's entertaining, something that's insightful, educational, and just spreads a pretty positive message. What do you think about that whole tactic, and should it be something that people look into? Is it a legit tactic to look for influencers to help out your brand?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, the answer is yes. I 100% think it's worth every dime to put into these micro influencers. So if that's all you need to listen to, that's all you need to hear, cool, pack it up, get your card ready, and start, getting some influencers.
Don't forget to reach out to us. We are on.
Yeah. Here's the explanation though. Here's why. Okay. So if we think about back to like television broadcasting, right? Let's just say, I mean, what's something you watched when you were a kid? Like I can't even think of Boomerang or something, right? Let's say Boomerang, because that's something that used to come up from, like old cartoons, like Cartoon Network and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a kid different than you were a kid. Anyway, so back then, to get a commercial on one of those networks, you had to dish out thousands and thousands of dollars for a 15 to 30-second spot, and you would hopefully grab someone that was interested in that, right? Very broad audiences. Now, let's say we move to modern day. let's say Mateo has 10,000 followers and all of them follow you because of your interest in SEO, right? And let's say that maybe you started off with 1,000 friends and that's grown to 10,000 fans. So you have about 9,000 people that have come to you for your SEO knowledge. So now companies can look at you and be like, okay, well, this guy has 10,000 followers, at the
Mhm.
very least 9,000 fans that listen to him for his influence. See there? Influence
See what
in
you did there?
SEO, right?
Yeah.
So now the money that they would pay that broadcasting company to cast a 30-second commercial one time or however many times, whatever, throughout the month, right? Like let's just say they dropped $10,000, which I'm pretty sure is a small number for a commercial for an entire month. And instead they gave that to you, they'd be getting a lot more bang for their buck because they have people that are directly being influenced by you. You're directly talking to these people. I never talked to anyone that was on these Cartoon Network broadcasting show. Like I never was in contact with anyone, but you can talk directly to a fan that's like, "Hey, I was wondering about this product that you were just showcasing to me." Like, "Okay, let me
Right.
break it down for you. Let me talk to you about it." So I think that these micro influencers, whether they have 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, you start getting into the upper like 100,000s. Um, they have a more dedicated audience because people are there for them specifically. So if I'm following someone, it's typically because I like their content. I don't just follow people just to follow them just because I want my follower count to go up or like me following people to go up. So I'm typically like I'm tuned in to what they're saying. So it's overall it's more bang for your buck because people have more attention. There's more attention being driven towards them than a big company where you might get it, you might not.
Right.
That's why old media is going out the window because before you would have to pay X amount of money for an entire crew to produce something that now uh I don't know, name a YouTuber, any YouTuber, right? Like they only have a team of one, sometimes two people that get paid almost the same now when it comes to marketing. So there's there's more money to be spent on advertising and less on overhead. So it just kind of makes more sense to do a micro influencer than to take a ad out in the paper or to, do a spot on TV. It makes more financial sense.
Yeah. One thing that I know a lot of people don't they'll tell you when you're creating content and you start to post your content, a lot of the advice is don't read the comments. They don't want you to read the comments. I don't really post too much content myself, but I find it sometimes it's entertaining just to read the comments sometimes of others. So, but one thing I gotta say about that is with these micro influencers, even though they have less followers than some of the bigger celebrities might, one thing that they do is they engage with their following a lot more.
Mhm,
I mean, it makes sense that they'd be able to because you deal with somebody like The Rock who's into fitness. He's a big movie star. He's an A-lister, and he's got like I don't know, millions upon millions,
mhm.
the millions
I
and
think he's at like
millions.
9 million right now.
Yeah, dude, he's somewhere up there.
Yeah, some
And
some
so it's
crazy number.
impossible for you to, hear everyone and respond to everyone. But you got someone else, who's not as big of a name, but they're in that niche as well. And they might only have a pool of, let's say, 10,000, but their engagement rate is so much higher because they're actually able to reply and respond, whether it's a story,
Mhm,
something in their feed, a reel now, whatever the case, they answer right back. And what's clever about what these people are doing when they are the influencer in whatever niche they're doing is by listening to those comments, reading those comments, they're actually creating content based off of that. So it works very well for them, man. And I think That's why I think it's a great idea. You know, I agree with you 100%. It's a great idea if you have a little bit of something to give to someone to grow your brand,
Mhm.
increase the brand awareness, by hiring, you know, a local celebrity, if you will.
Yeah. And it's too, you get that word of mouth. To
Yeah,
me, in my head, the word of mouth advertising is the most powerful type of advertising. If I
right.
tell you, "Hey, dude, I just bought these boxing gloves. They're Venom. They've been doing me wonders. I haven't felt any pain in my hands punching this stuff, blah, blah, blah." You're intrigued. You're like, "Oh, okay. Next time you think about getting some boxing gloves, you're gonna be thinking about the Venom." Right?
Yeah.
Which they are a good brand, by the way. I do use them all the time. Anyway, sidetrack. So that word of mouth, it's super powerful. So if you're a company and you're using a micro influencer and they're small, let's say they're like at 5,000 followers. That's really not much at all by today's standards. That's almost normal, right? So you say you have someone with 5,000 followers and you sponsor them, you pay them to have your product. They're gonna be
Mhm.
like, "Yo, like I just got sponsored by this company. They're local. They live in X town, whatever, where we're at. Like you guys should check them out." Because now they're
Yeah,
excited to actually advertise you rather than just um, being obligated financially. They're legitimately excited to advertise for you,
that's a good
and then
point.
that's you have their friends and their friends, and you can start, just having a chance. Like, imagine having a group of micro influencers who are all friends together, right? They all have around 10K followers, and they're all sponsoring your stuff at the same time, like almost all the time. Like, that's money well spent to me. That's, I mean, you, and the word of mouth that you get from that is just crazy.
Yeah. You know, another thing, that we talk about a lot, when we're doing marketing is knowing our audience. Especially, you know, I've been doing SEO for a while as well, and so that's one thing that we always talk about. We talk about, you know, targeted keywords and phrases, but also just that target audience. So we got to know exactly who our clients are. Now, one thing that a business person can say, you know, as far as a benefit, because honestly, man, when you say it to somebody, the reason why this is a question in the first place is because people are wondering. Business owners are saying, "Why am I going to pay somebody that doesn't have that big following?" It might
Mhm.
sound a little bit, shoot, what's that word? Counterintuitive?
Counterintuitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might sound that way, but think about this, that influencer, um, is typically, more in tune with a target audience because there's a specific niche that got them to that 10,000 followers or
Mhm.
whatnot. When you have, again, if we go back to our example with The Rock, dude, there's so many people from different areas. They might be into fitness, they might be into his wrestling, they might be into him just because of the skits he does with Kevin Hart,
Mhm.
you know, Under Armour, whatever it might be, XFL. So there's like a bunch of different interests that
Yeah.
go into his following compared to somebody like yourself. Once you actually decide you're going to become an influencer in what you do, man, um, it'll be more specific.
Yeah. It's personal.
Yeah,
It's like, you almost feel like you're friends with the person, which in some cases, like, it's a weird one-sided friendship where if you're the influencer and I'm watching you and I've watched you for a decade, right? You've been on YouTube for 10 years and I've been watching you for 10 years. I feel like I know you, right? And that's how a
yeah,
lot of people feel. I mean, people felt that way with celebrities too, and sports stars and all that kind of stuff. But on this level, like, you're not gonna talk to The Rock like on a regular basis. You're not gonna be like having a conversation with The Rock. Maybe
yeah.
one
I
time
gotta
when he
I gotta get
passes you
back to
by.
him. I know I gotta get back to him. I've been ignoring him for a little bit, but yeah, yeah, typically you
You know
won't
what I
talk.
mean? Right?
Yeah,
Like me, I got him in my but other
yeah,
than
yeah,
that.
yeah. He's been trying to
But
show me some stuff. It's all good.
when you have someone that you've been watching for a long time, like, you're able to, or and they're a micro influencer, they're still at like 15K, 20K. They
Yeah,
more than likely, if they're good at what they're doing, they will respond to you. Like, I've had conversations with some of the people that I follow where I'm like, wow, like I enjoy your content more because I know you're a cool person and I know that we're gonna be talking. Like
Uh,
not like talking, but it's like obviously I'm respecting their space or whatever. I just want to give you like a quick, hey, I appreciate this video, or hey, this was really informative. They
yeah.
just hit it with that double like, whatever. That's all you need. I don't care. Right? That's engagement right there for me. So it's more personal. You feel like you have a friend, and you're more willing to buy from your friend than you are from a stranger.
At least we hope so.
At least we hope so. I mean, I guess it depends on the context, but like
Yeah.
I'd buy something from you if you were like, "Hey, I am endorsing this product." I'd be like, "Okay, let me check it out." You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you're more likely to buy from someone you trust.
And because, like
That's
you
what I
mentioned,
should have said.
it is more affordable too. Because either way, you're gonna be buying, right? You're either
Yeah.
gonna buy from The Rock, his company's gonna take a cut, so therefore he has to charge, X amount more.
He's not even gonna know that you bought something from him though. It's not gonna his bank account number isn't gonna change so much that he'll see it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The micro influencer, like they might know right away, like, oh, you just bought something from me. Thank you so much.
That'd be interesting to just to see how it is behind the scenes with a celebrity. Do they just get, like,
Right.
an appointment book and they're like, "Oh, what do I gotta do today? Oh, I gotta do some endorsement at
Right.
whatever
Yeah.
place."
I mean,
And
I
they don't
think it's
really
a
know
little
anything
different when you're
until they
getting
get
a couple mil for it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I think it said I was looking at some numbers. It was like the top paid celebrities or the top paid male celebrities, and The Rock was the top, or he might have been second. I'm pretty sure he was number one, but it was like an ungodly amount of money per post. I was like, dude, like
Per post.
it's in like the millions or something like that. It's like, man, can you imagine making a social media post and getting that much money from it?
Dude,
Insane. But
so
I know micro influencers at the 100K mark that are getting like $500 per post
wow,
per
man.
post. Yeah,
Per post.
and they're on deals, so it's like you're only required to do 2 posts a month. Any more than that, you're not getting paid for, but you'll get paid this much per post, and it needs to have X, Y, and Z in it, and that's it. Everything else is free reign.
And then done.
She had that for a couple of businesses. Like, if you went through you can go through a lot of influencers' profiles, and
Yeah.
you'll know if they're sponsored because you'll be able to click on their photo or whatever, and then it'll show you, like, tag,
Right.
product tag, person tag, all that kinda stuff. That's typically because they're being paid for it.
Yeah.
Typically, not all the time. Sometimes people are just trying to get into that realm by mimicking what people do,
Right.
which is a good way to get into getting sponsored.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Um,
from my understanding, that's how that works for micro influencers. I don't know about celebrities though.
I did hear about, a celeb what's it Kevin Hart, where he was
Uh-huh.
talking about he did some deal, negotiated some deal, for a movie he was doing, and I think it came down to, they were paying for him to be in the movie, but they wanted him to promote the movie using his social media, his Instagram, I think, namely, and
Mhm.
he said, "Well, wait, that's different, like, because I have millions of followers, so if I say this, then" so he actually worked that into the contract, so they ended up having to pay him a little bit more, me
Well,
or probably
dang.
a lot more, but
Yeah.
the fact that you could get to that point is crazy. That's
Yeah. Who would have thought that social media would come so far where you can make money off of it
That's what
like
I'm
this?
saying, and now we touched on this the last episode, man. We talked about how, headed into the future, I think you brought up Gen Z back, during our last episode,
Uh-huh.
and how they've got editing skills and,
Yeah.
they just have it to be out there like this. They're in this world.
Mhm.
This is a part of their
That's
everyday life.
their standard.
Exactly,
It's common. It's as common as breathing for them.
and that's why, again, we're just like, "Dude, the future looks bright for them because they are gonna have these ways of making
Mhm.
multiple streams of income based off
Multiple, yeah.
based off of this.
They have that potential. I feel like I'm one of the only people that actually talk good on Gen Z. everyone else that talks about Gen Z is talking about how like how bad they are, or about how
Yeah,
like how how far from reality they are. But if you think back to every generation has said that about every generation. So I got nothing but praise for Gen Z. I think they're gonna do like a really good job. Like in the next decade, we're gonna see some crazy stuff out of that gen.
I try not to talk bad about any generation because I mean, when I look back at previous generations, there's things that I can learn from. Obviously, if I speak to people from there, whether it be my parents, grandparents, whatever,
Right.
um, and even the next generation, it's like I see qualities that they have that I don't have, at least not right now. Like they're just brave. They could put themselves out there. This is my first
Hmm.
time being on camera. We don't normally record our podcast like this. And
Right.
this, it
Yeah.
was part of it isn't it actually isn't so much the fact that we don't have equipment to do it. It's actually quite easy to do it. The part that's difficult is you getting the nerve to get past how you look and how you're gonna come out to
Yeah.
everybody. And you listen to me kind of clown on myself. I talk about how, I'm so skinny, I'm short, I don't know what to do with my hair. My voice is terrible. Can you work on my voice a little bit? You know what I mean? And it's these are all things that come into play and the reason why
Nah.
we don't get on camera.
Hey, but that's the thing. No one cares.
Exactly, man.
Nobody cares but you.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Like how you were wearing that hat the other day. No one cared. You cared. You know, you got in your own head. You took off the hat during the meeting.
Oh, that's right, for that
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that, you know? No one cares. No one it doesn't matter to nobody but you.
Yeah. Well,
That's the
today I'm
thing.
wearing
That's
a
the
Raider
thing.
hat because the NFL season is back, ladies and gentlemen. It starts Thursday the 10th.
At
Uh,
the 11th.
Thursday is today? Hmm?
Wait, today's Thursday, isn't it?
Today is Thursday, so it starts
Wow.
today. Uh, the Raiders' first game is on Sunday. I'm a Raider fan. I just wanted to support. Ordinarily, I'd be wearing my Laker hat because there's a Laker game on today. They're actually starting in about an hour, and
Whoop.
we're going for another ring, man. For Kobe.
Man, I'm glad you're into sports, Matt. I'm
I
glad you can get hyped up on sports like this.
I know. I don't know why you can't, bro.
It's not ever been my thing. I'm not a spectator, you know? I'd rather play the sport than watch it, and I don't know why. It's just always been that way for me.
Yeah.
The only way that I'll really watch a sport is live because of the atmosphere, you know?
Wow.
I usually
Have
get
you
pretty
been to
hyped up
many
at games.
sporting events?
Um, Within the last year, I think I've been to 2. I went and saw, man, people are gonna hate me for not knowing the terms of all this, but the football games that they play before the football games, the pre-games,
The preseason?
preseason
Uh,
games.
yeah.
I went to one of those at Stadium Park, Stadium Staples Center or whatever. Um, I think it was last year.
Uh-huh.
And no, it would have had to have been either earlier this year or late last year. Went to one of those. Super cool. It was super cool. And I went to like a Dodgers game last year too. That was it. So I guess it wasn't even this year that I went to a sporting event.
Yeah, it was all pre-COVID.
It was all pre-COVID. Well, I mean, everything pre-COVID seems like 5 years ago. So I don't know,
It
dude.
does though. I was just
I don't have any good sense of time. I've been in this room for months, dude. I can't. The
the world has changed, man.
world is
I
different.
don't get to go to many live events like that. Actually, my very first Laker game, I'm a huge fan and I would never went to a Laker game. I just went last it was well, it was the beginning of this season. So game 1 of this season. It was the Lakers versus the Clippers, and the Clippers were actually the home team, even though they play at the same stadium, arena, um,
Okay.
Staples Center. And it was funny. So Jimmy's actually the guy that brought me. And so yeah, that's gotta love Jimmy for that. And
Gotcha. That's
so
cool,
dude,
dude. That's a cool thing.
heck yeah, man. And so I remember we were walking up to Staples, dude, and then there was like a news team there. And I had, I was all dressed out in Laker everything. And they were like, "Obviously, you're a Laker fan. Do you mind if we ask you some questions?" And I said, "Sure." And they say, "Can you say anything nice about the Clippers?" Bro, I had to think about it. I, like, really, like, legit thought, and the only thing I could come up with,
Uh,
because I wasn't gonna be a jerk, on
right,
TV. It's just not me, man. My mother didn't raise me that way.
right.
So, I ended up saying, "They play at Staples."
That's it.
That was all I could say. And, yeah, man, they were actually shocked because I guess no one could say anything. They were talking about how the fans were a little, bad to one another or whatever. Can't say anything
Yeah,
disrespectful about the other team, but it's all
that
part of the
always that
fun.
yeah. I mean, that's that, what is it? Is it called camaraderie? Is that the term? That sounds right to me.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
all kinda just feel it's a tribal thing. Humans are always
Yes.
based on the tribal thing. It's us versus them, so even if it was like, "Hey, you're red team and you're green team." "Hey, green team, like, you guys suck." "Yo, red team, you guys suck." Like, why are we yelling at each other? "Because we have different colors." That's just
Exactly.
that's just how it is.
I don't know why when you were
Did
doing
you
that, you reminded me of that, you seen the memes with the dogs? And they're, like, across the street, and they're, like, barking at each other, like,
Yeah,
"Hey, what's your name?"
yeah. "What's your name?" "God, what's your name?" Yeah. Yeah, that one's funny.
"What's
That's a
your
good one.
name?"
Did you
Yeah.
end up on TV, though?
Did I end up on TV?
Yeah, did you end up, like, seeing yourself or anything like
Oh,
that
from the
on
news thing?
TV?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
I didn't see myself, no.
You gotta look it up. Skinny
I
guy
know,
with
like,
the
I don't
hat,
even know what to look up.
glasses,
Yeah,
NBA.
thanks. You brought
Uh,
all
I'm
all
using
the
your
stuff I
own
had in
descriptors,
my
dude. I'm using your own descriptors.
head.
Oh, man.
Good. Um, let's go back to the influencers real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Have you seen any companies that are using the micro influencers successfully?
Um, I can't think of companies right off the top of my head, but just speaking on TikTok, a lot of those creators what a lot of people don't understand about TikTok creators is that they started from ground zero. Like, they didn't have a following on Instagram, they didn't have a following on YouTube. They just started
Mhm.
making videos on TikTok, and they happened to blow up because during quarantine, like, that boomed. It boomed. It was crazy.
Yeah,
So, there are people like, I think one of them's name is, I am the J or something like that, something along those lines. And she went from having, like, a couple hundred followers to having one of the biggest followings on TikTok at the time. I'm pretty sure people have passed her now. She's kinda changed her content a little bit, I mean, for her benefit, but, like, she was getting some spots. She was getting some of those smaller companies that were looking into her because she had I mean, technically, like, her following was not micro influencer following, it was, like, legit, like, influencer, like, full-time influencer.
yeah,
Um, the difference is TikTok didn't have any money to give until just recently. So they weren't paying out their creators. So it still to me counted as a micro influencer.
yeah,
Just because like it's I don't know, when I think of influencer, I think more of like professional job. Like that's you kind of get paid for it. Like
yeah.
how people say professional, like if you're a professional, you get paid for it. If you're like an influencer, it's because you're getting paid for it, right? It's
Right.
almost like it's a words that's similar to marketer. You're a marketer. You're kind of like the middleman, right? You're getting paid for that kind of thing. But I have seen influencers who create skits that get put onto these other these companies that they get put onto like dental stuff, or they get put onto like meditation apps and stuff like that. It's you can see it's pretty common on TikTok, or at least on my algorithm, to see the people that I follow getting put into these advertisements, whether
Right.
it be on their own page. I've seen a lot of companies just kind of have them film something and put it on their page, stuff like that. I think one of the best ones that I've seen recently was, you know, that kid. He's I don't know how old he is. I want to say like 9, maybe 8. Little black boy. His name is Brandon, and he's got that sound that's like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart." You know that one? Have you heard it? It
Oh,
starts off
man.
like he's like he's walking down the street with his dad, and the dad's filming, and the kid's like, everyone's asking me, "Brandon, what you got on? Brandon, what you got on?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart." Right? So that is one of the most amazing videos that I've seen. He's so smooth. Like I can't that kid's gonna have a great future. But he was just put into a commercial. I saw it the other day. It was for Invisalign, you know, those things you pop into your teeth. And he was in the commercial. Like he did his line, the "Don't worry about it, sweetheart." He had that line. Boom, they put him in the commercial. I was amazed. If I needed to have straighter teeth, I probably would have clicked on that ad just because it had Brandon in it. Like
Yeah.
that was so cool to me. And like that was like the perfect way to use him in your marketing, because you're taking what he's known for. So
Right.
even if you've heard it, you could have heard it like in passing while you're going from class to class, or while you're at Target or whatever, someone playing it. It's a very iconic sound. Him saying that, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart."
Yeah.
So them taking that little bit, the most popular sound that he has, and he has a ton of videos where he's just hilarious. They took that, put it into their ad flawlessly. They utilized different aspects of TikTok, like lip syncing and skits, and just, I mean, just high production camera work. And they put it all together. I wish that I saved it, but a lot of the times I'm just, you know, I'm on TikTok. I'm just scrolling. I was like, "Haha, that's cool. I liked it," and I moved on. I wish I saved it so I could show you. I'll probably find it later, and I'll send you a link so you can see what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But I think that's the perfect type of integration with a micro influencer on a platform that's as new as TikTok. I mean, it's not new, but it's kind of new to the older generations. It's kind of
Mhm.
like a it's I would say for us, it started out this year. TikTok started March 20th, or whenever the quarantine started. That's when TikTok started for a lot of us. So taking what the influencer is known for, and not making it a gimmick, like taking
Yeah.
it and like genuinely being like, what can we do with this to where it doesn't seem like we're manipulating this, like it doesn't seem like we don't know what they're saying. Like you could kind of tell the people that made that commercial appreciated his brand, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think a lot of companies miss, because they're like, okay, well, we got to get a micro influencer. Let's just find one and put them in a commercial, and then boom, there we go. And they put them in a direction that's not them. So then people are like, well, you're selling out because that's not you. That's not who you are. You know, so it kind of creates like that weird like limbo where you have that micro influencer, but you're not utilizing it in the proper way. So I think taking the influencer, finding what they're good at, finding what people follow them for,
Yeah.
integrating that with the social media platform that you're going to be on, whether it's like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Let's just say TikTok, for instance, if they like to do dances, like Charlie D'Amelio, which is she's like the face of TikTok right now. If you're going to use her in an ad, have her do a dance. That's
Yeah.
like that's super simple. Like she's really good at doing those dances and getting other people to like her videos. So she's like, I mean, obviously she's already gotten a ton of deals. There are already a
Right.
ton of companies that are in her in her emails, trying to get her to, you know, basically they want to be sponsored by her almost because she's up there
Yeah.
like like tens of millions of followers. Um, but you take what they're good at and you mash it together with your own expertise and make it organic.
Yeah, dude, I like that. I agree with what you're saying because there have been times when, for other companies that we've been running campaigns for, um, where they've set aside a budget and they've wanted us to get some talent for them. They wanted one of these influencers or micro influencers. They always start wanting the influencer. They want the biggest names until they see what the price is like.
The prices, right?
Yeah, so then they're like, "Well, what can we do?" And all they're asking for, and I'm not gonna say their names because I don't want it to sound like this is a negative thing. I just want this to kind of be something to keep in mind, so any companies out there can maybe just think about it. Um, they didn't really care what content they had. They were not looking at their Instagrams and the TikToks or anything like that. So the stories, none of their skits. They didn't know
Yeah.
what type of content it was. All it was to them was a number. You know,
Give me the
does she have a
stats.
pretty face? What's her
Yeah.
following like? Much engagement. Okay, perfect. Now can she say these lines? Well, like nobody was getting to get to know one another during that whole
Mhm.
process, and I think that's where a lot of times you can feel that disconnect when
Yeah.
then they come on set and they're still trying to learn your product. They're still trying to learn who are you? What
Mhm.
audience will I be speaking to? Who am I going to introduce my audience to? Because when I post this, now I'm exposing my whole audience saying, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm into."
Mhm.
So I think it is important to have that genuine like for someone. Like what they do, be a
Yeah.
fan of what they're doing, respect what they're doing, and then, just see if it's a good fit. I feel like it's so awkward when you can totally tell there's a
Yeah.
disconnect. They don't know one another, do they? So I think
They're
a
like,
lot
we had someone write the script for you. You need to just go ahead and
exactly.
just say the script, do the line. Like, but that's
And you
not
have
what
to
I
rewrite things because 'cause they're like, "How come
yeah.
you're not saying it the way it's written?" And it's just like, they'll throw their hands up, "Who talks like this?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, exactly." So you kinda gotta, a lot of trying to mesh things together, and it
Mhm.
causes a lot of rework when if you could nail that stuff in the very beginning, do they actually line up with your beliefs or whatever your company's beliefs are? Uh, you know what I mean? Like, just have that, so that way you guys just
Yeah.
feel it just comes off so much better, bro. It just does.
Yeah. Well, and two, like, here's a message to any micro influencer who happens to be listening to this podcast as well. If
Uh-huh.
you're gonna be accepting a company and they're offering you thousands of dollars to do it, but you have no idea what they're doing. You don't know what their product is. You don't know their influencer base, like their who they're marketing to. If you don't have a passion for it and you tell your followers, "Hey, I trust this company," and then it comes out down the line that they're, bad at manufacturing or they happen to partner with someone who's against your beliefs, you're branded with that now. So if you don't believe in a company, don't don't accept their sponsorship. If you're not
Yeah,
gonna be passionate about it, don't just take it for the money because eventually that money will run out. That company is gonna be like, "Okay, well, we notice now that this influencer is no longer bringing in the views that we want. We gotta drop them." Or you're gonna find out down the line that they do something that you're totally against, that you
right.
should have picked up on before you signed that 5-year contract, So make
Yeah,
sure that you're up to date on who the company is, that you're going to be representing because they are going to be attached to you for better or for worse,
right.
you know?
I
So
was,
that's yeah.
I'm a Twitter person, and there's this, account that I follow on Twitter. She's, a boxing promoter out of Philadelphia, Raging Babe, and, she said just the other day there was a tweet she put out, and it reminded me of some stuff that I heard from my mom back in the day. She said, "Not all money is good money."
Mm,
And, she was talking specifically about some big time boxer that's going he ended up having to, sue his promoter, and all this drama is going on in his camp, but
man.
that's so that just resonates on many different levels because a lot of times these micro influencers are no different than you and I, man. Like they come from small
Yeah.
towns like us, and
Mhm.
they just happen to hit, dude. They
Just
kept
regular
doing what they
people.
were doing.
Yeah.
They were having fun, and they're gonna keep doing it, but they're coming from not too much, you know?
Yeah.
So anytime they get a deal and they see money attached to it, they might be quick to snatch it up, and
Mhm.
not really do their homework. And yeah, I think along the lines of what you were saying is just don't be afraid to turn down that money because it
Yeah.
always if someone's as a micro influencer, bro, if somebody's willing to give you those thousands of dollars as a micro influencer, imagine if you just keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. You say
Keep
no to
going.
this, keep doing what you're doing, and then you become the A-lister, the
Yeah.
influencer,
The influencer. Yeah.
macro, I guess. I don't know. Imagine
Yeah.
how much more money you get off of that. So
The giga influencer.
the giga flu,
Dude,
nah,
okay, dude. Okay, real quick though, sidebar.
yeah,
Not sidebar, whatever. So I was just looking up on TikTok. So Charlie D'Amelio, right? The face of TikTok.
yeah.
I want you to guess real quick how many followers you think she has. It does end in million
On just TikTok alone,
on just TikTok. Yeah.
it ends in million. Imma go 250 million.
Wow. You really think that many people are on TikTok? 250 million people are on
I don't
TikTok?
even That's a good question. I don't even know how many people are on TikTok.
It's
That's
okay. I mean,
worldwide though.
I don't know. I don't know either, but that's a really high number. How okay, so if that's what you think Charlie D'Amelio has on TikTok, how much do you think The Rock would have on TikTok? Just based off of that. Based off of let's just say Charlie D'Amelio has 250 million. How much would The Rock have to you, do you think?
Oh, man. See, I feel like it might be a little different because I don't think The Rock does skits.
He's got
Like,
stuff on there.
does he?
Yeah.
Um, Shoot.
He hits a he hits a good amount of views on every single one. All of his videos are above so far they're all above 10 mil for all of his views on every video so far that I've seen.
10 mil?
Yeah,
Oh,
above.
yeah, so I
Like
am really
views.
high. That if
You are
that's
really high.
so
You are
followers
really high.
his followers so
Followers and views
followers
are
might
different.
be
Like,
her followers might be at I'll say 1 mil.
okay, and what do you think The Rock is at?
The Rock would probably be at 5.
Okay. So, let me just say this real quick. To me, and please don't get mad at me, people of TikTok, don't get mad at me. But the fame that you acquire on TikTok is not solid yet. It hasn't it's oversaturated because there's so many people on it. Like it's the followers you get aren't always real followers, right? Like not that they're not real people, but they follow you, but they're not like interacting with you because of the way that TikTok is designed. There's not really like a I mean there is a feed for who you follow, but it's more just showing you random people's videos for the most part. At least for me. That's how I use TikTok. So Charlie D'Amelio, actually, let me start with The Rock. The Rock has 28.7 million followers on TikTok. Okay, he's got 9 million on Instagram. Okay, Charlie D'Amelio has 86 million followers on TikTok.
86
86.
million.
And let me
Wow.
just say, okay, so The Rock has an average of just by glancing, like this video's got 8.2 million views. This one's got 276 million views. Or no, I'm sorry, that there's a decimal point there, 27.6. This one's got 37.4 million. Okay. Let me go over to Charlie D'Amelio again real quick. 5 mil, 7 mil, 10 mil, 16 mil, 19 mil, 49 mil, 39 mil. Like she hits on every single one. Like she's above. I don't think the lowest one I've seen is 7 million, and that was because it was just posted like 10 minutes ago. Let me see this one right here. This one was posted 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago, it's got 5.5 million and 1.5 million likes. Like, what the heck, dude? That just goes to
Wow.
show, like, she was not on any other platform before this, to my
Oh,
knowledge. Not this popular. Now she has a YouTube channel that's in the mill. She has Instagram, obviously now that's in the mills, but she started with TikTok. Her and her sister. Her sister as well also has a bunch of followers. I don't know the number. I don't know her name either, so I can't look it up. But
how
she has
dare
a.
you?
I'm sorry. I don't even follow Charlie D'Amelio, so I only know the name because she's the face of TikTok.
Okay. Wow, man,
Yeah.
dude, that's wild.
So
To
that's
start
so
off your
yeah.
very first platform and you get
Yeah.
that many.
See, and that's also why the banning was super scary. I mean, still is super scary for a lot of these influencers because this is the only platform that they have. But it
Yeah.
also goes to show you your micro influencers are going to be an investment into the future of your company. So let's
Uh,
just say you're one of the people, like, she does dancing. She's a professional dancer, I guess. She's been dancing for years, right? Let's
right.
say you were a shoe company just starting out, right? Mateo's shoe company.
Hey,
And you
now.
got her when she was at 10,000 followers, and you were loyal to her, you gave her perks, you gave her free shoes. Now she's at 86 million and
Yeah.
she's still repping you. And you're still, you're able to upscale and pay her because her following has increased. So
Yes.
you've taken this gamble and now it's gone into not even a gamble. You're really always getting your money's worth if you find the right influencer for your brand.
Yeah.
So it's gonna scale up as they scale up. And what's great too is even if you see a micro influencer with no sponsorships at all, you're the first, you're gonna get the most love as long as you're loyal to that micro influencer. And that's gonna start opening the door for them to have more sponsorships, which you want, right? You're gonna want your micro influencer to have multiple brands underneath their wing because it's
Mhm.
gonna allow them to grow exponentially. Like you could look at this simply as an investment and your ROI. Like imagine going from Charlie D'Amelio having 10,000 followers and you paying her, I don't know, $100, $200 per post, and
Yeah.
that blowing up, that $200 that you had her that you spent per post is now worth like 10,000. But because you've been with her for so long, you just have that an interlocking partnership now,
Exactly, that partnership.
and she's got at minimum 1 million likes per video within the first couple of hours. Like I said, that video that I was just talking about, 5.5 million views, 1.5 million likes, was posted 3 hours ago at
Wow.
noon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the potential of using a micro influencer for your marketing. And I don't really see any other like alternative. Like there's no, like, you're not gonna, don't pay a celebrity. I mean, you can, if I guess if you got that Microsoft money or that Apple money or something like that. But
Mhm.
even still, even my recommendation to Apple, grab as many of these micro influencers as you can. Like that's only going to help you. You already got your name out there, So even if you're a big company and you've already got that that marketing real estate everywhere, you can imagine Apple sponsoring someone that's got 10,000 followers. You're going to instantly grow their numbers because people are going to be like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
Like it's crazy what the possibilities would be once companies open their minds to what these people are able to accomplish. Like there's talent everywhere. Some people just kind of get the bad end of the stick where they're stuck in a loop, but you can
Yeah.
always pull them out the loop and then there they go. Whoa.
Yep. Yep. Dude, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and end this here. We had some good information to share, and it's actually got my brain kind of moving.
Working. Yeah, mine
It's
too.
working right now. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and put some videos together. I'll share my TikToks with you. And shout out Apple, man.
Shout out Apple.
You know what
Sponsor
I
the TC Off the Clock podcast. You
Yeah.
never know what you could get. Listen, man. I'm telling you
We'll
right now,
You'll grow with us,
you'll grow with us.
or we'll grow with you. We're partners, baby. That's what
We
we
don't even
do.
need money yet. just put your name on the podcast. That's all I want.
That's funny. Yeah, man. But thanks for joining me. Maybe next week we can do
Anytime.
something else. And yeah, dude, just fun times.
This is great. It's good
All right.
combo.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the TC Podcast. For more information, message us using your favorite social media platform or visit youthinkcreative.com.